Yeah, that's wood. Came from up north. Way up north.
Bird. Oh, this is poplar. This is poplar? Yeah. Aspen poplar.
Alright, I'm Chris. I live in Frankfort, Kentucky. A lot of you guys have seen this before, but I'll just go over it again real quick. This is a wood chunker. It's based on a square baler gearbox. The evolution of this is, a few years back, Wayne was the only one really doing the spiral chunker. He has a rear axle, like off of a dump truck or a bus, I think. He runs it off of a tractor. Somebody, I'm not going to claim who exactly, but a few people realize that these gearboxes are very sturdy, and they have a very heavy flywheel built in, and they're made to rotate at about the speed that you want for chunking. So I decided to set this up with an electric motor on a trailer, and it's pretty quiet. 5 horsepower, and it'll chunk pretty much anything you can chunk at.
Careful. Fingers. Pretty much anything.
Probably not too many conversations you can have while it's out there. You don't want to be distracted.
Wimp.
While you're done. No. Tail blast. Don't even talk to me while I'm on. Yeah. It runs pretty fast. Some people run theirs a little slower. This one's going at 80 cycles a minute. So it's a little bit of time to fall. I keep it at a standing height, and then Wayne likes it a little further. Shut down and sit down. I may put it down for that on the next one. You can see it'll make a pile of wood in a hurry. See the wood dripping out of it. Or water. Yeah, using that water. That stuff there was green poplar. This is kind of the other end of the spectrum. This is probably what? White oak? Ash. So this is already dry. It'll make a different sound, but it'll chunk it just fine. Doesn't like it quite as much. That is actually a section of my fire tube when I cut it to length. No, actually that's not true. It's the same diameter, but it's I had that one cut out of 3/8 pipe. But it's pipe welded to a backing plate. I cut it on a spiral and then I beveled the edge back. It coats down. You can actually chunk a few more chunks just with the flywheel weight. It's got a 200-pound flywheel. And the neat thing about these square baler gearboxes is you could run it off of a tractor, you can run it off an electric motor, you can run it off a gasoline engine. You can spin it by hand if you can get it going fast enough. It's all in the plywood.
Flames that cuts it, but it also crushes it, and it makes it dry so much faster.
Here's a good piece. Look at that. You see how what it's done to the wood? Instead, the saw will just make a clean cut, but this has shattered this wood. You know, it looks round, but it's really, there's a piece there, there's a piece there, piece there, piece there. It's all into little pieces.
It fractured.
It fractured it all up, and so now
Smashes a lot of water out too.
it smashes. Yeah, you saw the water was dripping out of it there a minute ago.
That's that terrible fracking stuff.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Say
we're
no to
fracking the wood here. But what it does is all those air spaces in there, that means the air can get into the middle really quick and dry it out. If I spread this wood out here, we had a couple of 3 good days of sun, it'd probably be ready to run in a gasifier.
Is there a reason you didn't sharpen the blade? I see it's relatively dull.
It's fairly dull. I keep it that way because it does a better job crushing and kind of shattering the wood like that. You can sharpen it and it'll make a cleaner cut, kind of a preference thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, I guess it would get too dull for, you know, the thing that happens when it gets duller is you'll get more fines.
Right.
You will get a certain amount of this kind of stuff, which,
Do you screen
know,
it all when you do?
I haven't been, but I may start doing it just because sometimes if you get a big piece, it's hard to get, you end up getting little nibbles, and you get, if you take just the end of a log and you nibble off just one slice, it just shatters into a bunch of little pieces.
You need to do charcoal. That's what you need to do.
I do at least try to not get the fines when I'm scooping stuff out. I'll just leave the fine, because a lot of the fines will end up right here. Like, I guarantee you, that's all going to be the fines, because there is a screen here, so a lot of the fines will fall through here. And
Well, if you load that with a pitchfork from there, a pretty wide pitchfork, a lot you can.
yeah, you
separate a
could
lot of
screen it out. I've used chicken wire in the past, just shake it over a piece of chicken wire. That does fine. You know, a lot of this will run just fine, but eventually, if you run too many fines, it'll start plugging the gasifier up. So, to compensate for that, sometimes I will. Well, these are just pieces that I'm too chicken to shove these any further in. But some of these pieces, if you let them be a little bit longer, it won't completely shatter them all the way. You know, the middle of the wood's still holding it together. If you cut it shorter, though, like something that short, there's not much left to hold it together, so it just falls apart. So if I end up with some bigger pieces and some fines, then it kind of averages out. But yeah, you can make a pile of wood in a hurry.
So you try 4 in length? 3-4 inches?
Yeah, at the most. I mean, here's a piece that I'd put it in. I wouldn't want everything to be that long, but it won't hurt anything.
But if you do like 4 inches, it has less tendency
Four
to shatter?
inches is a good, like I said, if it's 4 inches, it's going to stay together better. But if you do, you know, much longer than that is going to bridge with you. But you can see what's in here, you know, it's like that, yeah, that, just fine. And this, the shorter stuff, you know, it splinters more, but I'll still run it.
Much better job.
Yeah, if anybody wants to try it, the only thing I'll tell you is just, you know, you're safe out here, you're not quite as safe up there. Just don't stick your hand in there, because yeah, we'd actually like it if people would want to chunk a little bit. Lots of wood that has to be chunked this week, so. Want to try it?
We're already planning it when you weren't looking.
stroke, it'll jump in. There you go. With that 12 o'clock. There you go.
That's close enough. So now, splinters like that, bigger chunks, right. Size of wood is much smaller.
Yeah. You can compare the size of this with what he's got sawn up over there. See, this is bigger stuff, but in general it's shattered up so well that you've got the surface. Yeah. A lot more reactive. Alright.
I'll try some.
Alright.
See if this will stand up over here.
Start out with the small end?
Yeah. Because, you know, you'll have to throw away the big end anyway.
Timing down.
You could do that, but the problem is, if you decide to do want to cut something longer, then you have to have something like this. The other problem is, as it cuts, it's moving the wood away. The width. So if you have a stop, push it back. You gotta have it loaded so that it comes back to where it started, or eventually you just work it.
There you go. Hey, you know, you're young.
He's standing that tall and blowing through.
Now, don't show off for us.
No, I'm not gonna do anything dangerous. It's not worth it.
You're right. Not for a pile of wood.
That's dry.
Chris,
You take those sharp pieces. Yeah, it is.
That's just the.
okay. Okay.
That's the carrier.
It just hit the ground.
Yeah, okay.
A whole lot of respect. Had a little problem with the motor last night, so it may not be running.
Is that a pin or a?
It's a hay baler, square hay baler transmission. He says it's got a nice 200-pound flywheel on it, and it gives you, with the electric motor, gives you about the right speed you want. Maybe it's a little faster than Wayne's, but he likes it the way it is. Yeah, the problem with the motor is we're trying to feed it with a voltage from a generator that wasn't running properly, and we're wondering if either the phasing or the voltage was too high or something. So it needs a start cap or a run cap. Anyway, needs a capacitor. That was just a whoops. It was an accident, unfortunately. I wonder if there's any motor repair shops in town. That would be interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen Chris all morning. I wonder where he's at. Maybe he's out looking for capacitor. Yeah, Bill Schiller brought a whole trailer load of green, it looks like beech, birch, or tamarack stuff anyway.
That's great.
Northern Minnesota wood.
Green as a gourd.
Northern Minnesota. He's up in the Great White North. I don't care if it is Minnesota. It's north of Lake Superior. That's the Great White North.
Yeah. That's up Mason-Dixon lines north of me. That is sure green, no.
I've been up there once.
I don't. I'm thinking around all.
Truck is not run on Woodgas.
Yeah, wait is possible.
Gasifier is not quite finished, and I'll show it off real quick. This is a Winky style gasifier, but it has no it's fine to feed things together. And a bunch of people over the weekend were asking me how it works, so I'll try and explain it once, and hopefully everybody will get it. Normally, what you have with a gasifier in the truck, you'll have the gasifier, a hopper, you put the wood in the hopper, it goes down through a fire tube, through a grate, and then it goes over to the second unit, the one in the middle. That'll be the drop box. Most of y'all are familiar with that. This one, you take the lid off, this whole thing is the hopper, but only this side is the fire tube. This side of it is actually the drop box. So, I'll tip this forward so you can see inside. There's a fire tube over to this side, and on this side will be what we'll just call the drop box area. I've got a pair of cyclones here. These are going to pull gas in, drop soot out the bottom. We got an air jacket all around it. That's going to preheat air. This is going to connect over. This will sit right under here, just like that. So that'll be connected over to pass air into the fire tube housing. Once the gas comes up out of there, it goes into this, tip it forward again so you can see. This thing in the middle here is a heat exchanger. So we have hot gas, hot finished gas comes out here, comes up, and then goes back out again. What that's doing is preheating the fuel in the hopper and driving out the moisture. That's a new thing. I don't know that anybody's done that yet, not to my knowledge. So other than that, it's just made everything a little bit smaller. One of my intention for this unit is to run small engines all the way up to maybe a small car. I'll probably be able to run with variable amounts of insulation in the fire tube, and I'll talk details if anybody's curious about that. But it's a project I've been working on pretty hard the last couple of weeks, trying to get it ready for this. It's not running yet, but by next year it should be running something, making some stuff.
Did you repeat that?
Yeah, by next year.
Should.
Yeah, should. Weasel words there. So,
Nice workmanship there.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions?
Is this primarily a Max Gassman design?
No, this is primarily a Wayne Keith design. The new parts I came up with partly with Max's help. The plank, or what I'm calling the plank, is this thing in the middle here. That was his idea. But no, I came up with a lot of this. I should give credit to a lot of people that helped me out with figuring out some of the problems getting the airflow right. But this is probably about 3 or 4 years of thinking about it coming together.
That's what I tried. I did try them once.
Sweet.
Any more questions for Chris?
Takes two, but I
I was looking at Chris.
Yeah, but other things.
All right, it's in there.
What's your name and where you from?
It's a cool lid.